Hey, everybody, before this week's podcast begins, we want to let you know that we dropped our limited edition 4th of July t-shirt. We order a limited stock every single year. If you want to get one, we'd recommend ordering sooner than later because they're going to go quick.
And you also want it for the 4th of July. So, get it before the 4th of July comes around so you can wear it.
Yeah, if you want to get one, you can go to thegardenstate.com and you'll see right on our homepage a picture of these beautiful shirts. And thank you, everybody, for the support.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, this is Jersey. You're listening to the Garden State.
You're listening to The Garden State, the only New Jersey podcast that gives you all the news you need to hear this week. My name is Josh Sobo.
My name is Josh Chomik.
And I'm Jimmy Parks.
We are back May 30th.
Summer's in full swing, baby.
May 30th, 2024, which also happens to be Jimmy Parks' birthday.
It's Jimmy's birthday.
Happy birthday to me.
I was going to get the applause button.
How you feeling, Jim?
I'm feeling 29.
You're almost 30. It's your last year in your 20s. This is a big year for you. Monumental.
Well, actually, I was talking about this the other day with someone. I feel 16 still, but I also feel 50 at the same time.
Like physically, do you feel 16?
Yes.
Your body feels like a 16-year-old. Mm-hmm. Wow.
I feel like...
You're not falling apart yet?
No, not yet.
Good for you.
Hey, Jimmy, did you know on May 30th, 1924?
Oh, 24 is a good one.
A crowd estimated at 20,000 attendees attended to the dedication of a 66-foot high granite obelisk modeled after the Washington Monument, commemorating the 1 million soldiers who passed through Camp Merritt in Bergen County on their way to fight in Europe.
I did not know this.
It's located on the border of Cresskill and Dumont. Have you ever been?
I've never been. Should we go today?
You should go.
Go spend your birthday alone at this obelisk.
1 million soldiers, Jim, passing through.
That's crazy.
So something to think about on your birthday. I was trying to find more interesting facts.
This was
That's pretty
100. Wait,
interesting.
that was 1924.
Yeah.
So 100 years
100
ago.
year. Wait, we should go for the 100-year anniversary.
That's a big deal.
They're
in the
probably having a
state.
big celebration today.
Maybe they've knocked it down since.
I hope not. I can't say I've ever heard of this obelisk, though.
Well, the other thing that happened, Jimmy, was in 1922 on your birthday.
Oh,
The Lincoln Memorial was dedicated in Washington, D.C.
Wow.
So you've done a lot for this nation, Jimmy.
Thank you.
You've done a lot. And happy birthday. You're 29 years old.
Thanks, Soaps. Means a lot coming from you.
Jimmy, what's your favorite historical moment on your birthday? Do you have one?
I really didn't know about any historical moments on my birthday.
You don't know one?
Like when you went to Chuck E. Cheese in 6th grade.
Jimmy's never been to Chuck E. Cheese.
No, I have been.
Well, hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. Jimmy, we hope you have a wonderful birthday. You're
Thank
a great
you.
guy.
I got an action-packed day coming up, so I'm stoked.
Everyone go on Instagram at JTDscape and wish him a happy birthday this week. Show him some love.
Yeah.
A listener wished me happy birthday 3 days ago.
Really?
I didn't reply.
Wasn't your birthday?
I know I didn't reply yet. I'm waiting till today to reply.
Are you going to correct them?
Maybe.
Today's my birthday.
They wished you an early birthday?
They said, "Happy birthday, Mr. Parks. Thank you for all you do for the Garden State."
Aw.
Wow.
How did they know it was your birthday? Did you mention it last week?
Maybe I did. I forget.
So the other day I was at, I want to say Indie Photo, but what's it called?
Unique photo.
Unique Photo.
In Fairfield.
In Fairfield on Route 46. And I was getting in my truck and I ran into one of our listeners named Emily.
Awesome.
What?
And she was like such an awesome person. It was really so random because she came up to me while I was getting in my truck and was just like, "Oh, I love the podcast." And we talked for like, a solid 5 minutes straight. And I don't know why I brought this up. I was just, because Jimmy was talking about a listener.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just awesome to encounter
So you were leaving the store and
Yeah.
she came up to your car.
yeah, she said she was getting some film done, which Jimmy, you needed a new spot. Maybe Unique Photo's a spot.
And did you see her approaching your car?
No, my back was turned. I was getting stuff in. She was like, "I'm sorry, I freaked you out." No, but it didn't freak me out. I just was like, I'm in my head. I'm like in another world when I walk around.
Of course, yeah.
Like if you run into me in public, Josh, like we're at ShopRite, you run into me, I'm probably on another planet mentally.
It's like when you ran into me at Target that one time.
yeah, 07.
07.
I have really bad tunnel vision like that too. Like I could walk past someone I know and not even realize it.
Oh, people say that to me all the time. People are like, "Oh, I hit you on the shoulder to say hi in that hallway, and you didn't even acknowledge me."
Wow, that's rough.
I also talk to myself. Do you guys talk to yourselves?
It depends on the situation where I'm at.
Even under your breath, like, are you ever like just
Not
there, like,
really.
If I'm like by myself in like beautiful nature, yeah, for sure.
you're talking to yourself?
Yeah, I'm like, this is so sick.
Oh no. I mean like not like in a. We all do that. Like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
That's not what I'm saying. Like full on conversations with yourself.
not full.
Like
on
you ever drive in your
conversations.
car and you're just like talking to yourself?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I've been caught before. My wife is like, "What do you?" Because I'll even do it like under my breath. I'll just be moving my lips while we're hanging. Have you ever noticed I do that?
Well, yeah, when we're filming sometimes, yeah, but like not hanging out though.
Oh, really? Okay, so maybe it's not that bad. But she's like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "I don't know. I was thinking about."
You're just
something.
planning scenarios in your head about like something that's about to go down.
Yeah, it's why I'm a good communicator. I'm a verbal processor. Some people think in their brain. I have to think out loud.
Driving here today, were you talking to yourself about like what you're gonna say in the pod?
No, but I do listen to podcasts on the way in to just get myself amped up. It's like my
It's like
free
your warm up song.
Yeah, you know, like-
what's your warm up podcast that gets you hyped for the pod?
Well, I'll tell you today's, but you know when high school like football players are on the bus and they got like a mix going,
Yeah.
to get themselves
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
amped up. I got to do that with a podcast. Depends on the week. I like to listen to How I Built This is a good one. Guy Raz,
It's a great
NPR,
podcast.
because he's just a great communicator. I think he's a master at it. But this morning I was listening to Sean Ryan. Do you know who that is?
Why do I know that name?
Sean Ryan, former Navy SEAL.
Yes.
And he's less of a podcaster, but I still think it's fun to listen to him.
It's good to listen to like talk shows or like podcasts
Yeah.
to like hype. Like I listen to sports radio every day. That's where I get my like my knowledge of talking on podcasts or radio. I don't know where I'm going with this,
Well,
but yeah.
radio is good because everyone's in character.
You think so?
Yeah. And that's why you're in character on the podcast.
Remember
'Cause
when we
you're
went on
doing
101.5? Like we walked up to like what is this? What's that? There's two guys. The midday.
Deminsky and Doyle?
Deminsky and Doyle. I think I introduced myself. I was like, "Yeah, what do you do here?" It's like I got a show. I think I offended the dude, but I was like, I don't know.
Maybe that's why he left.
Oh yeah, that was big news this week.
Yeah,
Which one left? Doyle.
I think so. Hold
Yeah.
on. Let me go to our
I
good
wonder what
friend
happened.
A
Jim
Doyle
Murdoch's
rules.
page.
I wonder if there was beef.
Jim Murdoch.
So I think that's actually an interesting note, Josh, on the way we communicate is I'm getting all my knowledge. I used to love in college talk radio. I
Yeah.
listened to like the AM talk radio shows. Now I just like listening to podcasts nonstop.
I like both.
I'll listen to podcasts for 12 hours a day.
Wow.
That's a lot.
Well, not 12, but maybe like sometimes when I'm working, I can't focus unless it's off. But when I'm driving to work, when I'm driving home, if I'm washing dishes, if I'm at the gym, like I listen, I just listen, I consume. For you though, I think you communicate like a radio person.
Well, all I do is if I'm driving, I got 101.9 on. Like,
That's why-
there's- I'm listening to any show that's on there because I love it.
But that's why you love to come in with a hot, spicy take
Dude,
and
all
an
those
offensive
guys
sort
are
of
just
way.
always screaming to each other on the radio. I'm like, I don't want to be like that. But
Oh,
like,
that makes so much. You're making it. Hold on, you're filling in gaps in my
Josh,
mind
if you
right
ever
now.
listen to 101.9, like you'll probably see the reason why I talk the way I do because like those guys hype me up. But like I'm not trying to be like them. It's just because I listened to them for so many years.
Yeah, but you have to think of this differently than the radio.
100%. Yeah, I do. I'm not trying to make it like radio. It's just like that's all I know in my vein. That's in my veins.
Oh man.
Also, I love sports, so like that's how I keep up with like sports, and I think their shows are very entertaining.
Man, have you ever seen a radio person go on a podcast? It's so funny because they're so out of their element.
Give me an example. Who did it? I know what you're talking about.
Think of. Oh, I saw recently Dave Ramsey on Theo Vaughn.
Oh, I love that episode.
Yeah, and Dave Ramsey's a radio guy, and radio people have their idioms.
He's
they have-
sort of like podcast world now, though.
kind of, but radio people have their like little sayings that they have. I just feel like it's so much more polished. They're much more polished communicators. Podcast people like Theo Vaughn's not an example.
Also, you got to think like some of these radio hosts have been doing it for like what 20 years or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, I mean like all those big guys. The big who's in New York? What's his name? Yankee guy.
Michael Kay.
No, the
Oh, from the radio.
yeah.
John Sterling.
What else are we talking about right now?
Wait, what?
You said from the radio.
Yeah, John Sterling. I don't know why I said Michael Kay.
Oh, okay.
I'm thinking of his talk show.
Wait, no, is John Sterling the talk radio sports guy?
Yeah, he just retired after like.
No,
doing, like,
I'm
a
not
million
saying. I'm
games.
not saying like the Yankees win. Not that guy.
Oh, who are you talking about?
The guy that's the sports radio New York guy with the big teeth. Come on, bro. You
yeah.
listen to this guy all the time. What's his name?
Well-
he was on Barstool last year.
Yeah, what's his name?
Make a note here because I got to figure this out.
I know who you're talking about. I'm just
Mike
blanking.
Francesa.
Yeah, Mike Francesa.
Like guys like that.
Yeah, I don't listen. Like Mike Francesa hasn't been on 1019 in years.
Oh,
but
really?
No, he has his own show.
What does he do?
I think he has his own show.
On what channel?
I don't even know. Maybe his own podcast. I don't listen to Francesa anymore.
Was Mike and the Big Dog the show where the Big Dog went to jail?
Mike and the Mad Dog.
Mike and the Mad Dog.
I used to watch that when I was a kid, bro, on Yes Network. Did he go to jail, Mad Dog? Wherever his name is?
I think so.
I didn't even know about that. I think he has his own show.
I don't know. All right. Well, hey.
Can you just look that up really quickly? Because I don't want to end on that note not knowing. What's that guy's name?
Mike and the Mad Dog. Maybe I'm thinking of.
I don't think he went to jail.
No, I'm thinking of another show that was on radio. Yeah, I don't think he went to jail. He's here in all these photos.
Okay, good.
Who's the sports radio guy in New York that lived in New Jersey and went to jail?
Carton Roberts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but he's good now. He's on the he left 1019. Now he has like a bigger show on TV.
He's
CBS.
out of jail?
He was out of jail for years. And then he came back with a huge comeback on 1019. And now he left 1019 after a year and he has his own show on TV. So like he's killing it.
Good for him.
And he has a gambling show on Saturday mornings talking about like the issues of sports gambling. And
Oh, I was going to say.
he talks about like recovering addicts and all that kind of stuff.
Oh,
So it's
cool.
really cool.
I thought you were just going to say he's a gambling show now on TV. I was like, wow,
No,
good to be
a
inspiring
gambling
the
recovery
nation.
show.
Really bringing the people
No, he's
together.
a good guy.
Oh, goodness. All right, good. Hey, let's check the mailbag today. I know we had a call. Before we do that, was there any general housekeeping we should get into here on the Garden State? Anything we need to discuss?
Memorial Day weekend? Anyone?
Oh, yeah, that's
How was
right.
everyone's Memorial Day weekend?
I had a good Memorial Day weekend.
What'd you do, Jim?
I went to Philadelphia on Saturday. On Sunday, we did a little Garden State merch photo shoot, which was a lot of fun.
Ooh.
Yeah, we went down to Tabernacle,
New Jersey.
And we explored a blueberry farm
And Cranberry Farm.
and a cranberry farm.
700 acres.
I'd never seen a cranberry bog. And I always wondered how that worked with the lake. Like they're standing in a bunch of cranberries. Like how do they not, how do they collect them and everything?
Mm-hmm.
It just, as a kid, it always was like mind bending to me.
Now that I've seen the bogs, I actually think about like, wait, what does the collection process look like? I've never seen that. Jimmy, have you seen them collect them before?
Yeah, I have. It was really, really cool.
Do they like have a machine that goes through the bog or they have to hand pick that?
So, from my understanding, they have a machine that goes through or they handpick. I don't know. I really don't know. I've only ever seen the end part of it when they do the water harvest.
Because it looks like there hasn't been tire tracks in a bog. And it looks way too fragile to put a truck down there. So like, it's,
There's a machine that goes in there at the end that kind of like ruffles everything up.
it's so interesting.
But it kind of looks like a big lawnmower.
But it's crazy how like over the wintertime, the bogs are flooded. So the cranberries are growing in there.
I think they flood them to protect the plants over winter.
Who would have thought about that, dude? Like back in the day, like how did they figure that out?
Yeah.
It's so impressive.
I got to say, well, that's one thing I always think we are so naive and ignorant generally. When you think people figured out I feel this with everything. Everywhere I go see this farm over the weekend and I'm looking at these bogs. And how long ago did they figure this out? Probably a couple hundred years
Right?
ago, right?
Yeah.
Like if not longer.
It's amazing.
How long have we had cranberry bogs for? I would never figure that out.
No.
If it was just me, a farmer with like a few tools and a bunch of cranberries growing, there's no way.
I would plant it like I plant an actual tree or something. I
Yeah,
wouldn't think
I mean-
about like, making a bog.
It's so crazy. And the other crazy thing is you're asking like, how do they harvest them? I looked it up. There's videos. I mean, we have access to any information available. Like anything that you want to figure out, you can figure it out right now. It's just so interesting.
Like if you want to make your own bog, you could figure it out in 5
you could
minutes.
learn, like if you want to go like a cranberry bog right now, you could learn the process. And but the farm was cool. It was 700 acres. And what can we say about this farm, Jimbo?
It is Moore's Meadows.
Moore's Meadows.
Yeah.
So we're allowed to say that.
Yeah, great blueberries.
Shout out to our friend Sammy for letting us on the farm.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a really, really cool experience. It made me really want to farm.
Yeah.
It was paradise. I was like sitting on the trucks and the tractors and stuff and staring at the sunset. I was like, come on.
It was.
Does
it
it
was
get any
special.
better than this?
So it was a good Memorial Day weekend. There's craziness at the shore. We're going to get into that in just a second. A lot of insanity happening at the Jersey Shore. People are. It's like 4 people have come up to me this week and been like, "Did you hear about the gunshot?" I don't even. I still. don't fully understand all of it, but I have a pretty good idea of what happened.
Like my
there.
sister was in Ocean City, then like
Yeah,
I was
that's
like,
where the stabbing
I was like,
happened.
did you hear about all the drama? And she's like, no, it was really peaceful and relaxing. I was like, okay, so I guess she was on the boardwalk.
Well, that's the media, convincing us
Oh
that.
yeah,
we're all-
everyone making everything sound scarier than what it was.
And we're gonna do it and get 100,000 views on TikTok.
I mean, that's media, baby.
No, but in all seriousness, it's kind of crazy that all these stories out of the shore in one weekend. What were you gonna say, Jim?
What I'm interested in hearing about, how was the parade on Monday?
Oh, that was Josh looks forward to the parade every single
My
year.
favorite. It's like literally, and people say literally, not in a literal way. Literally, Memorial Day is top 5 holidays for me. I want to say top 3, but I have fear of commitment on that.
That is a big take.
But I love Memorial Day. I know it's not a day to love because we're obviously memorializing those that have lost their lives.
Yes.
But as the start of summer, it gets me excited to just the changing of the seasons right there. But also the Cranford Memorial Day Parade is one that my family's attended for 30 something years, and they canceled it this year.
It's messed up, man.
So I went. Listen to this. Oh, I forgot about this.
Yeah, I want you to
this is
share
great.
this.
I went to Clark to watch the Memorial Day Parade,
It was the only town that didn't cancel.
and I met Bill Spadia.
How did you run into Bill Spadia? Like, what was did you just see him and walk up to him?
He was like the Grand Marshal walking with the mayor, Bonacorso.
But like, so how did you get into the mix? Like, how did you get to talk to them?
I mean, it's a local parade. You're not talking about the Macy's Day Parade. So I sat on the side with my daughter loved the parade. I was worried she was going to be afraid of the sirens and stuff. And I will say Clark does a good parade. That was a very good parade. Like they went all out. There were like Civil War reenactors. There was a lot. There was Uncle Sam on stilts, like a 10-foot tall Uncle Sam in the parade.
Very impressive.
It was great. But at the end of the parade, I said to my dad, I was like, I got to go meet Bill Spadia. There's just no way we cross paths and I don't say hello.
Yeah.
So I went to the end of the parade and he was just hanging out. He was just over there. I was like, hey, man, I took a picture with him. And he had no idea who I was.
Were you?
He had never, I don't think
And like,
he's.
so what
unless
was
he
your interaction? Like, did you mention that you were on 101.5 2 times this year?
My dad did, because that's my dad. But I went up to him, I was just like, hey, man, can I take a photo with you? And he's like, yeah, of course. And we talked a little bit about 101.5. And I think he thought that I was saying I really wanted to be on 101.5.
He's like, this kid,
Because he said
it's his dream.
He said, "Hey man, send me an email. I'll help you out." And I was like, I wasn't looking for help, Bill Spadia. I was just looking to meet you and start a conversation. But it was really funny. Bill Spadia is a divisive figure in New Jersey, which is hilarious. I mean, he was super nice.
You were
He
way
was such
taller than him too.
He's a tall guy. I mean, I'm just really tall, but he's like a normal sized guy. But it was just so I don't know. It was funny to see
I was
in
playing
person.
golf and I got that text that you sent to Jimmy and myself, and I was just dying. I was
Bill's-
like, no way.
Bill Spadia has an excellent radio cadence.
He does. Talking about radio personalities, yeah, he's a pro.
He knows how to speak on radio. He's very, very
Did
good
he
at it.
sound like his radio voice in real life?
A little bit, but there's always the patina of the mic in the process. Whatever goes on the board, even for me, I listen to myself and I don't. But we also record at 6 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Someone said to me, I went to an event very early a few weeks back, and they're like, "What is this? Your radio voice?" And I'm just
That's my
naturally.
morning
The heck does
we
that
all-
mean?
Like you have a morning voice, right?
Yeah.
And then also something happens when it goes through the board where there's some grit. I feel like added.
It's called compression.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's just compressing.
But Spadia, I mean, all jokes aside, really nice guy, very, very friendly. Yeah, he was just there marching. I know he's a veteran as well, so.
So, what you were saying that he was like shorter than you would thought, or one of you said that, right?
Yes,
I think
I did.
being a tall person, like we're all pretty tall.
No, you guys are tall. I'm average.
Well,
Must be
no,
nice.
you're pretty tall,
I'm 5'11". I'm not even 6, dude.
but
It's above average.
I hope.
the point I'm making, people that I look up to or like only hear or like see on TV and stuff and like don't know in real life, I always envision them like so much taller than me and like larger than life.
Yeah.
Just because like, oh, I look up to this person, like I must have to physically also look up to them. And then like when I meet them and they're like this tall on
Yeah.
me, I'm like, whoa, it's like a whole.
And you meet a lot of celebrities, Jimmy. So it's a
Frequently.
I was gonna say for me, it's rare I meet or see a celebrity or see anybody who I've seen online
Yeah.
for many years in person, and they're way taller than me. And anytime that does happen, it freaks me out.
Like Shaq.
It's
when I met
intimidating.
Shaq.
Well, I expect Shaq to be tall.
Well, that's
but
different, Jimmy. He's in a different league.
But like I knew he was tall, but then I met him in real life and I was like, whoa, you're
Yeah,
like,
I agree though. I
you're
feel like a lot of
huge.
people I look up to, like celebrities I meet, like they're just taller than me. I'm just like, wow, how do you do that?
I met somebody recently that was like,
Were
they're
they
like,
short?
you're way taller than I thought you'd be. Who was this? And I was like, you're taller than I thought you'd be. Who was this? I know what it was. It was on a work call. I had a Zoom call, and then I met the person. They were like way taller than me. They were like 6'4". And then I was on the Zoom call. Though,
How did you know they were that tall on
they
the Zoom
looked
call?
they looked like 5'8" on the Zoom call. It tripped me out when I met them in person. I was like, oh, whoa, you're.
That's a trip.
It's rare I meet someone taller than me, and that's not. I mean,
You're currently what? You 6'4"?
I'm 6'8".
Yeah, right.
I'd say I'm 6'2".
You don't know your height. What's your license say?
My license, I may have.
Is it a
I forgot
lie?
my wallet today.
I should have put 6 foot on my license. I knew it.
I might be 6'3".
No one's gonna know.
Somewhere between 6'2" and 6'3".
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, same here.
I gotta like turn my head up a little bit to look at you guys.
And your hair, Jimmy, adds a little bit there too.
Yeah.
All right, so we were just talking about
Memorial
the
Day. It
Bogs.
was good. It was good. It was
It was
a good weekend.
I met Bill Spadia. Very nice
You guys
guy.
are pretty much best friends at this point.
He's trying to get me on 115,
Again, third time's the charm. Maybe they could finally grab us.
but it was a good time. I had a good time altogether. And hey, it's good to be back though, and we have a mailbag call we wanted to dive into. Josh Chomick, can you tell the people the number?
The number to call in to our mailbag. Call in with any thoughts, questions, concerns. We want to hear from you. The number is
908 67 99 99 3.
Good morning. This is Shannon, long time listener. Started when we went back to work from remote. I have a pretty hilarious observation, and it's New Jersey related, so I figured you guys would enjoy it. I am Gen X, and last night I finally got the chance to watch Thank You Good Night, which is the Bon Jovi documentary. And the whole time I'm sitting there watching the footage, I'm like, who does this person remind me of? Young Bon Jovi. And I'm like, trying to get his face, and I'm thinking of all these people, and I'm like, who is it? Who is it? And then suddenly it dawns on me as I'm scrolling through my Instagram later that night and see Josh Sobo's post that it's freaking Josh Sobo. I know you guys are going to think I'm insane, but literally bring up pictures of John Bon Jovi when he was in his 20s and early 30s and put them side by side to the post that Josh Sobo put up yesterday with the scruff. And I'm telling you, they
Wait a
look so
second.
much alike, it's freakish.
what photo did you post
That's
with the
all.
scruff?
Wanted to share.
Am
Thanks.
I the Bon Jovi reincarnation?
Yes, you are. According to Susan over here. Do you guys see it?
I don't think I see it.
She
Maybe,
said based off a photo you posted
What
with
did
the
I
scruff.
post?
I don't
Maybe
know.
like
What did you post a few days ago?
here?
Let's
Hey.
see what I posted.
Oh, maybe the
Chomick.
4th of July post? I don't know.
Chomick. Like a little bit. Like I could if I
I
really
don't-
squint.
Maybe that photo is interesting that you showed Jim. I don't see that
You know, I used to get Anthony Michael Hall a lot in
all the
Breakfast
time.
Club.
That's what I used to say you look
When
like.
I was in high school, I will say, when I was in high school, that is exactly who I look
well,
like.
you really do look like him.
But Bon Jovi, I've never gotten. I'm not going to take it as a,
That's a compliment,
it's
dude.
Bon Jovi, you
Of
know,
course, he's
as
beautiful.
as a Jersey man, this is what we aspire to.
Yeah.
But I've never been told that in my life. You know, I did get when we were on the radio, they told me I look like what's it? Remember
Bam
this-
Margera doesn't make any sense. I don't think they knew who Bam Margera actually
On
was.
101.5.
Judy was like tripping. She was on drugs or something. I don't
No,
even know.
I thought it was Dennis. Dennis was like, "You look like Bam Margera." Has anyone ever told you that? I was like, "No."
Doesn't make
And I
any
never
sense.
wanted to be told that. But John Bon Jovi's the first.
So whenever she's watching the pod, she's thinking about John Bon Jovi.
I guess I could see it. I mean, like I'm looking at some photos here.
That photo, maybe.
Maybe a little bit there.
Really quickly. You can't stare at it too long. I don't know what photo she's referencing.
You know, I saw a video of Bon Jovi at a wedding. Did you see this?
No.
Yes, I have seen this. It's so cringe.
It was so cringe.
It's so cringe.
Bon Jovi's at a wedding, sitting next to the end. He's just an attendee at a wedding.
Yeah.
Like, imagine I'm family friends with him. He comes to my wedding.
Yeah.
And there's a wedding singer who's singing
Living on a Prayer.
Living on a Prayer. And the wedding singer's like singing it, staring at him, trying to get close to him. So, like, trying to get Bon Jovi to come up and sing the song.
Oh, gosh.
And at a certain point, you see Bon Jovi.
You don't
and
do that.
He's like cringing. You could tell he's like, he doesn't want to do it. And then because he's like, I'm going to be a good sport, he gets up and sings it. But the whole thing is so.
You don't
so
do
bad.
that, man. You can't do that. If someone's
Poor
famous
guy.
there, just let him be. Let him enjoy the wedding.
All right. If I was hired as this like wedding band and I saw Bon Jovi was there, I'd be like, no, we got to cut that from the set, right?
Of course.
Like, how do you?
Unless the wedding guest requested it specifically.
Yeah.
And you just got to do your
doubt
job
it.
at that point. Josh is going to be looking at Bon Jovi photos all day long.
Now I'm looking at Bon Jovi photos. Yeah.
Did you guys watch the doc that she's referring to?
No, was
No.
it good?
I've never seen it. maybe we should educate ourselves and watch it. When did that even come out? Is that an old doc?
Thank You, Good Night. Is that what you said? Thank
Yeah,
You, Good
Thank
Night.
You, Good Night.
This is on Hulu. It came out in 2024. Maybe we should
Wow.
watch
Oh,
this.
We should
new.
watch it.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, we got to really educate ourselves on some Jersey history, boys.
episode 1, New Jersey versus everybody. Oh, we got to watch this.
That's awesome.
Thanks for the tip
That's
there.
how out of touch I am with like TVs and movie. I didn't even know that was a show.
You sound like an old man. That's how I touch
you-
on with the TVs.
Did you know that was a show?
No, I didn't. You're right.
It's so hard to find these things nowadays.
Well, it's just
and everyone's on every different streaming site. Like you have to have a subscription to everything to see every show that's coming out. It's ridiculous.
there's a lot of content to keep up with.
It's not. Yeah, I'm over it. Like that's why I don't watch TV.
All right. So thank you for that call. I'm gonna ask my wife if I look like Bon Jovi. She'll give me an honest answer. Maybe I should grow out my '80s hair, like a hair metal band hair.
You have cool
Josh.
curls. You have the best curls where you could do that, Josh. I don't know what you're wasting time on.
You get a
here.
perm, dude. We should both grow our hair out and look like '80s metal
Yeah,
band
but you have
members.
better. You have better curls. Like I don't have curls, and like you have the natural curls.
All right. This is.
If Josh should get, guys,
we're getting a little too vain.
No,
here.
everyone
Let's-
should tell
let's-
Josh to grow a mullet, dude. You're a dad now. You're allowed to. Like, come on, brother.
All right, let's dive into the news. We're not going to acknowledge the mullet talk here. We're
Yes,
going to get.
we will.
Let's get into New Jersey news, guys. Jersey.
Jersey.
I mean,
I love the best state in the world. Jersey versus everyone.
I'm wondering if we should switch from being a fun, lighthearted podcast that just because it's all intentional. We come here and we want to have fun.
We're in character.
We want to just talk Jersey.
That's it.
But I will say, there's a lot of really serious stuff. And what if we had 2 podcasts? The one that's just us being idiots,
Yes.
and then one where we dive into an issue and we get into all the meat and potatoes.
Like, break it down.
We're in suits.
Yeah, like what if we did an episode about the toll hike and we spent like 40 minutes talking about all the details. We just did like a month of research.
Bro, I wish we could have like 3 podcasts.
Yeah.
I mean, time is our biggest enemy, but yeah, I would love that one day.
Something to think about.
Josh is brewing up an idea right now.
I always have
He's
ideas.
cooking.
That's my biggest issue in life is I have an idea every day. I have a new idea every day.
You just need the time. You need the laborers. To,
No, it's not even time. It's resource.
Yeah.
I need someone that can come along with $1 million and go, okay, I'm going to fund all your ideas because they just never stop. This was an idea I had and you liked it too much. It would have never happened if it weren't for Josh Chomick.
Dude, I'm so happy we tried it.
If you work from home or you're a small business owner and you're looking for a place to go work where you can get more done in a beautiful environment, you got to check out the Vintage City offices. This space has just been an absolute game changer for us getting in here, having our own personal office where we can get, this podcast going, where we can record some nonsense has been amazing. If you're interested, you can call the number 908-259-4488. That's 908-259-4488. Call or text. Let them know that the Garden State sent you. And when you come by for a free tour, make sure you take a selfie in front of the big green and yellow neon sign, baby. Let's go.
Back to the pod.
Let's get into the news. Sorry. Tangent.
This first story is terrible.
So, Dolphin Watch Week 2. The dolphin trapped in a New Jersey creek has died during a rescue attempt.
I was saying this the entire time. They should have let the dolphin just do his thing. They tried to rescue him. They touched him and they killed the dolphin.
I'm stepping
mad.
in here.
I'm
stepping
mad.
in here. Hold on. If I remember from last week, please reference last week's episode, Chomik said that he was going to go down there as soon as we were done recording the podcast and rescue the dolphin and make sure that he was okay.
Jimmy, it was
And
called.
then you
I said I was
didn't
gonna
go.
I said I was going to go jump on him. I was kidding.
And then you didn't go.
No,
so the whole reason why this dolphin
said in the
died was you.
podcast. I also said in the podcast, let the guy just enjoy himself. Let him live a little bit. Let him swim freely in this creek. He's not bothering anyone. Why did they try to rescue him? Was he eventually going to get trapped here and die? I don't know. It's a big creek. Maybe he liked it. There was no proof that he was going to die there until they put a net over him.
So, a bottlenose dolphin trapped in a New Jersey creek for more than a week has died following a last resort rescue effort. The dolphin was first reported in the Skeeter Island Creek in Cape May on May 16th. An initial effort to herd the creature out of the creek using 3 boats and specialized equipment was unsuccessful, according to the Marine Mammal Stranding Center. The group made one final attempt to help the dolphin back out to sea on Friday morning. The center posted on Facebook, after initially trying to avoid physical capture and handling, which posed serious... I'm just thinking about the dolphin watch with the noise you put in.
I'm going to do the same thing.
Yeah, week 2. Okay, sorry. After initially trying to avoid physical capture and handling, which posed serious risk to the dolphin and the rescuers, the crew attempted an in-water capture by deploying a net into the creek.
Awful idea.
Unfortunately, once inside the net, the dolphin immediately panicked and expired in 2 minutes.
Oh, no.
Expired is an interesting...
They threw a net on him. He expired. He unalived in 2 minutes. That's crazy.
You know, expired is a better word for TikTok and Instagram than even the ones the kids have come up with, like unalived.
Yeah, because we can't say those words anymore.
But yeah, that's sad. He's
It's
done.
ridiculous.
And the dolphin's carcass was transferred to the New Jersey Animal Health and Diagnostic Lab, where it'll undergo a full necropsy, the official said. So is a necropsy like an autopsy for an animal?
I think so.
Yeah.
For like marine life.
Maybe if they didn't touch the dolphin, it would have actually lived longer than trying to rescue it and killing him in 2 minutes.
But why does it need a necropsy?
I don't know. They killed it. It wasn't the dolphin that killed himself.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, we know how he died.
I just want to know the answers that these articles don't give me, that no one can give me right now, is why did they have to mess with the dolphin? Was he going to die there because it was too small?
Probably.
Probably, yeah. I mean, I'd imagine it wasn't how's he eating? Or is he getting fish in that little creek?
It's probably fish. Comes from the ocean. How did he get in there?
It's also unnatural. It's not the natural habitat of this animal. So you figure, like, even if you don't know what the bad outcome is, there has to be a bad outcome.
Like eventually he would just die.
You don't take a Bengal tiger and put it in New York City.
That's very different. That's like saying
How?
that same analogy is like saying, oh, let me take this dolphin and put into my freshwater chlorine filled pool.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, it is different than
It's
the creek.
salt water still. It's right there. He could have swam back out during high tide the same way he came back in. But they killed him by putting a net over him, dude.
I think it's sad. It's definitely sad.
Let nature be nature. Like we have to let go sometimes and step away from trying to rescue the world. Because look what happened here. They killed a dolphin trying to rescue it when they could have just let the dolphin be on its own.
Well, I think that's
my hot take.
I think their intentions were good. They wanted to save him. These people care deeply about the dolphins.
Mike, how did they kill it in 2 minutes though?
I think he freaked out. He probably had a
Oh
heart
yeah,
attack.
they said he freaked out. See,
Yeah.
So is it better off then letting the dolphin naturally pass in his own timing, being stuck in the creek, than trying to put a net over the dolphin and killing him in 2 minutes?
Well, I don't
Okay.
think their intention was to kill him. though,
Obviously,
right?
Jimmy, but it happened.
So
Wait, what do you? I'm so confused.
Do you think it would have been better off if they let the dolphin be, not trying to capture him, and swim around this creek until he passes naturally?
Yeah, he probably still would have died.
Yes.
What I don't get is, why don't they just sedate him and then move him? Can they do that? Why don't you just sedate? I mean,
Is
like,
that a thing with dolphins?
don't you have I've never been an animal, is anyone here a marine biologist?
Please inform
George
us.
Costanza. No, I'm not a marine
is that
biologist.
Titleist?
Oh man, that's probably the best moment in television. That
Yes.
episode. I'm not a marine biologist, but I'd imagine there has to be a way to sedate a dolphin, like shoot a little blow dart in the side of him and he passes out and just and then move him
he probably
quickly.
sinks.
Like he's in the net. I know these people are specialists, so I'm going to sound ignorant no matter what I say, but he's in a net. They're thinking they're going to pull him in a net and drag him out to sea. Is that the plan here?
Probably. So. But you're right. They could have been ready with the net, ready to go, and then the little blow dart get him, and then they put him into the net, and then they bring him back out, and they wake him up.
It's going to be an actual marine biologist listening to this and being like, what?
Shaking their head. Well, I don't know, Jim. The marine biologist tried to net him, and they killed a dolphin in 2 minutes. So,
dude,
who's the real pro here?
There's no marine biologist listening to this podcast. They would have left a long time ago. They would have left. I mean, they were probably triggered by all our talk of the dolphins washing up.
But it's just a sad story, man.
Yeah. It is. It's sad.
When are we going to let nature just be its own thing? Why do we have to rescue the world?
You know what, though? Here's the other reality. This is the circle of life. Death is a part of life.
Exactly. So they should have let the dude die naturally, not putting a net and freaking him out.
I guess. I mean, maybe he was suffering.
These people were so concerned over this dolphin being like, we have to save him. We have to save him. People freaking out. And look what happened. They threw a net on him and they killed him themselves.
Maybe, though, he was suffering in the creek.
I don't know. Those photos we saw, he looked like he was having a grand old time.
Dolphins are hard to read, though. You know, you don't know if they're happy or sad.
Oh, yeah. Well,
maybe he was in distress.
Looked like he was having a great time. But we can only assume, right?
Yeah. And you know what happens when we assume?
We're usually wrong.
Well, that too.
No, but that's my hot take on it. I think it's, I don't know. I was really sad when I read the story and I couldn't believe he, died basically out of shock after like a whole week of trying to save this dolphin. It's like, I think he had the best week of his life. That's how I want to conclude this. I want to say this dolphin had the best week of his life and he was murdered.
Jimmy, you ever go to Skeeter Island?
I've never been to Skeeter Island.
I didn't even know it was a thing.
It's not part of your Cape May adventures when you go down there, Josh?
No, it isn't. Maybe I'll make it up that way. But he came in from the bay, though. That's the other thing. He was coming in from, I was thinking he was Oceanside. That creek comes in from the bay.
Yeah.
So he was a Delaware Bay dolphin.
That's the thing. Like, he could have just swam back out during high tide if he wanted to.
Maybe. And
that's what the most confusing part is. Was that not a possibility? Maybe not. Maybe I don't know enough, but I'm just really sad for the dolphin. And, this dolphin watch week it's a sad one because we lost another one. And, prayers out to that family.
Yeah. Dolphin watch is coming to an end. And hopefully it's the last time.
Yeah, last week we did the story. I was hoping for a positive outcome, but you're not always going to get a positive outcome.
Yeah.
So sad dolphin news.
All right. Let's go to Memorial Day weekend. Because, if you live in New Jersey, someone probably talked to you about the chaos at the shore.
Oh, yeah.
And
we have to break this down.
There's chaos indeed. So a chaotic Memorial Day weekend at the Jersey Shore led to a stabbing and new curfews.
I mean, they keep adding these curfews and rules. Yeah. Like, is anything actually changing? No.
No, I mean, and someone got stabbed.
The kids are getting crazier and crazier. Like, the videos out of this weekend were absolutely ridiculous. It's so sad.
Yeah, there were some crazy videos. What I'm trying to figure out is, are these high school kids down for Memorial Day? That was a thing in high school.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They're still doing that, yeah.
And they're still going to, like, Seaside and Wildwood and all these places?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you see the videos. A lot of these kids look young, and they're just, like, maniacs. Fights breaking out left and right, just mayhem, dude.
So this article says closed boardwalks, crowds running on a packed boardwalk, increased police activity, as well as a stabbing incident happened on Memorial Day weekend at some of New Jersey's most popular beaches. There were also reports of shots fired, but police confirmed that was not true. What happened there, do you guys think?
I heard that there was just some loud bang, and then people just started freaking out.
Yeah, everyone just started
you're in
running
a
for
crowd
their lives.
on a boardwalk, thousands and thousands of people, everyone starts running, and someone's like, gunshot, right? Like,
gunshot.
Dude, that's like...
It is scary in the moment. Like, if you hear a loud bang and someone yells gun, like, you're going to run. And that's what causes hysteria.
I'm deeply concerned.
For the generation.
Yeah, I'm really concerned about what's going on. I mean, this is not normal.
Because, listen, growing up, everyone went to Seaside for Memorial Day. It was a party weekend, whatever, but it wasn't like this.
Yeah.
Like, people had fun, but they weren't, like, causing chaos. This is just getting out of hand now, and it's really sad.
Yeah, no, for sure it's getting out of hand. And, I mean...
And listen, there's no consequences. Like, these kids are not getting charged. And that's the thing. Like, people want harsher consequences for these kids, but I don't think it's going to happen. And that's why it's going to stay like this until something does happen.
Well, these kids are going to end up in jail when they're adults. This is the thing: is when you're 15, you can act hard, you can do your thing, but when you become 18 and you do that, you go to jail. You know what I mean? So it's we're just going to have a lot of people in prison in 5 years.
Yeah,
because kids are crazy.
You know,
I mean, look, kids have always been crazy.
You want to avoid it, but like, it's just not happening.
Let's not be naive, though. Fights have always happened.
Always.
You know, there's always been violence between people, but at the Jersey Shore Memorial Day weekend, for all this stuff to go down and curfews, it just feels very dystopian. Like it shouldn't be happening at the Jersey Shore on Memorial Day weekend.
It's just sad because you see the videos and it's just like, it looks like a war zone is going on. Like, people are running for their lives. There's police presence everywhere. It's chaos. It's like, it's not how the Jersey Shore should look.
Yeah. And this article says a chaotic holiday weekend down the shore has led to stricter enforcement of Seaside Heights curfew now through Labor Day. A 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. curfew will be in effect for all Toms River Barrier Island communities. Anyone under 18 will have to be with a parent or guardian, which is crazy. So 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. Are the police going to enforce this? I know it puts New Jersey police have said in different municipalities, it kind of ties their hands because there are laws around, different biases, and age discrimination is a thing.
Yeah.
I don't know how the law works on the back end there to, if the law is written by the municipality, maybe it's a state thing that they're coming in conflict with. But yeah, it puts the police in a weird position to try to enforce this.
It's tough.
But it says Wildwood declared a state of emergency in the overnight hours from Sunday to Monday, shutting down the boardwalk for 6 hours.
State of emergency, dude. That's how bad it got.
Officials say there was a high volume of emergency calls that overwhelmed first responders. Think about that. Think about Memorial Day. We know for a lot of first responders, you're working on a holiday.
Yep.
It's a holiday weekend where it's supposed to be chill. There's, maybe someone lights a firework off. Do people do that on Memorial Day weekend?
Probably.
Yeah, I've heard some fireworks this weekend.
But it's just a weekend where you're expecting, things are gonna be chill. Maybe you get a phone call about a fight breaking out here or there because people are drinking and stuff. But you're not expecting a state of emergency for the community. Do they call SWAT in when Wildwood calls a state of emergency? Like, is there?
I think they did actually.
Like,
Oh yeah, the SWAT. I saw the photos of the SWAT team. It's crazy.
SWAT went to Wildwood or Seaside?
One
of them. Probably Seaside.
Do you guys know how much resource is being pooled there? Like, you have to call
I'm
SWAT
telling you,
in?
it's bad, dude. There's so many fights going on.
How many police officers were at like a family barbecue and got called in to do SWAT response?
Just because a bunch of idiots
I mean, this is crazy.
just want to fight and go crazy.
So
Stupid.
So the New Jersey State PBA posted a statement on social media addressing the weekend chaos and wrote, "It will be a long summer if we don't hold parents responsible. We all deserve better."
Here you go.
In Ocean City, police are searching for the person who stabbed a 15-year-old boy on the boardwalk.
Yep.
It happened Saturday night when a fight broke out. The victim is expected to be okay. Bro, these kids are they
Savages.
They
don't care.
It's just a different generation, and people are not awake to it because I think COVID messed everything up. I think COVID made it broke down so many social barriers that we've had for decades. And these new kids, man, they're a different breed. Kids that are 15 right now, they lived through COVID. They were 10 when COVID started. Different breed.
I like how the PBA is calling out parents, saying the parents have to be responsible, which is true.
Well, because the alternative is the police are responsible. If you want the police to parent, that's not a society we want to live in.
Nope.
Let's just be honest. And I think the police would agree with that. You don't want to live in a society where the government has to parent your kids. That's bad. That's a bad situation to be in. And people need to wake up and watch their kids and take care of their kids.
Which they're not doing.
And I mean, again, though, granted, there's a lot of, we can get into the conversation around parenting. We can get into the conversation around, we live in a state where it's very expensive to live. People are stressed about their bills. Both parents are at work getting their job done.
But also there's
you know what I mean? Like there's a lot going on and there's these kids that are then stuck in front of a screen or they're on TikTok. I was next to a kid the other day, pulled out his phone, screen time was at 11.5 hours at 6:30 in the evening. And
wow,
it was a school day.
He still has like 4 hours left in the day.
It was a school day.
That's ridiculous.
It's really sad.
11 and a half
That's
hours.
ridiculous.
These kids, it's a different generation, and people are not waking up. And I think, man, I mean,
See, like, there's a thing. There's a difference. There's
I
a
don't know how we
line. There's
fix
a
it.
line here because it's like you have the kids who are going to go down to Seaside. They're going to have a house party. They're going to have a good time with their friends. But then there's the next level where there's kids going down there causing chaos on the boardwalk, breaking out fights and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
So like, there's one thing to go down and have a good time with your friends. Good. You're not messing with anyone. But then there's like the group of kids who go down there just to fight other kids and cause chaos. And that's the problem.
well, it's
that's
these kids
growing
it's
and growing.
the kids that act hard. It's these kids that have like TikTok brain, where all they do is watch, videos of idiot adults that don't know how to act like adults.
Yeah.
And they want to be, I mean, the culture's broken right now. Like, who are the icons for a 15-year-old right now? What musicians are they looking up to?
They're looking up to like Jake Paul.
You think? 15-year-olds?
Dude, Jake Paul is like the man. All these 15-year-olds love Jake Paul, I think.
I'm so out of touch now. I feel like I don't even know, like, what music artist is big among about mainstream 15-year-old kids.
Probably listening to Drake. Kendrick Lamar.
What's her name? Olivia Rodrigo.
Really?
Who's listening to Olivia Rodrigo?
Are you kidding me?
Guys?
No, not guys.
I'm talking about guys.
I'm like
Okay.
these guys that are stabbing each other. What's the influence on this?
Listen to just whatever rap songs on the radio. A bunch of rappers, I don't even know who they are.
I feel like teenage guys are getting sucked into two vortexes right now. One is kind of the trad bodybuilding trend, which is really funny, which I think is the better of the two because at least they're bettering themselves. Or they're getting sucked into this vortex of just like cultural decay. These people that are filling their brains with garbage.
It's filling your brains with garbage with not a good home life. It's the perfect mix right there. Perfect storm.
Yeah, I think TikTok is parenting people, and then as a result of that, the police are going to parent people, and it's not going to be good. I mean, we want to have conversations about prisons being overfilled, and people want to talk about prison reform, and they want to talk about in New Jersey you have people that do pretty crazy, heinous crimes, and they get back out on the street pretty quickly. It's going to get worse. It's going to get a whole lot worse.
man.
But I think. The natural order is you need families to be strong. I'll say that all the time. I don't care if that offends somebody. If your family isn't doing its job to police, to use the same word, your kids and make sure they're behaving, then culture's going to have to do it, or society's going to have to do it, and society's going to be a lot more harsh than mom or dad.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
sad. It's sad, but we'll figure it out. The pendulum will swing. Jimmy, do you have a charger for your laptop?
I do.
Do you have the same laptop as me or no?
No, but I'm sure it'll work.
Is it a USB-C?
It is a USB-C.
Bring it on over, baby.
Yes, sir.
Little transfer of power here. The boys are working together as one. Sharing laptop chargers.
I don't know
Doesn't get any
where
more beautiful than that in this society.
charger went.
Get over here, Jim.
Jimmy,
Welcome to the dark side, brother.
that did work.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Thanks, Jim.
Hey, by the way, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, bro.
Yeah. You see, even on my birthday, I'm just giving other people
You're on the
presents.
floor. You're on
a
the floor of the
servant.
studio crawling around.
You're a servant. All right.
No, why didn't
Good
Jordan
guy.
come for my birthday episode?
He doesn't like you, dude. Get it in your head.
Maybe we have a surprise party for you after this.
Ooh.
Imagine.
You wouldn't know. All right, let's move on to something else. So government officials have announced a multi-million-dollar project to improve the port of New York and New Jersey.
I didn't know the port. Well, I'm always assuming the port needs work, but like that much money, let's go.
I think it's like one of the busiest ports in the United States.
Oh yeah, it's very important. All the things that you use every single day, it's coming through that port.
Yeah, it says the Port Authority and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers announced more than $50 million through the Harbor Maintenance Trust Fund for the seaport's berth maintenance dredging, berth rehabilitation, and berth reconstruction.
Berth.
Is that how you say that? Berth?
Berth.
Yeah, it's a berth.
It's a berth. It explains it.
A berth is a location in the water where ships can pull up and dock.
So it's like the deepest areas.
A separated $32 million project will deepen and widen the Gravesend anchorage outside of the Kill Van Kull waterway from its current depth of 47 feet to 50 feet. So they're dredging, they're pulling it all out,
Wow.
which is interesting.
It's like a life cycle. You got to always dredge. It's going to eventually get more and more polluted and filled.
Well, if you think about this port, I think we order on TikTok Shop and then they wonder how their knockoff water pick gets to them. Well, guess what? It's coming through a port from China.
Yeah, pretty much.
And if you realize how active our ports are, we have these Kearney and Elizabeth and Newark. We have these amazing ports where all this stuff is coming in.
Do you ever see how big those barges are and how many crates are on there? Like that's so important.
Yeah,
so I think it's great that they're doing work to this to keep it strong.
It's the largest on the East Coast, that port, which I heard someone say Baltimore was after that incident happened, but I guess they were wrong.
They're both massive, regardless.
So it needs to be able to, this particular port, the largest on the East Coast, needs to be able to handle that level of capacity. At the same time, it's going to improve safety for navigators. Even further ahead is a project to deepen the harbor from 50 to 55 feet. So they're thinking even further ahead than just the current dredging operation. The long-term effort to make sure that this particular port can handle the largest container ships, the largest cargo-bearing vessels overall that we see in the future is moving to, said Connor. Connor is an official from, he's a Secretary of Civil Works for the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. So as far as the time frame, this is kind of interesting. They believe they're going to be ready by 2040 to 2045.
But isn't there one aspect of it that's starting in it's going to be done by 2026? It was like that first dredging, correct?
Yeah, so it says the $32 million to deepen and widen the Gravesend is expected to be done in 2025.
Okay.
But the rest of the work, the larger efforts, they're thinking 2040, 2045.
20 years.
Which is 20 years from now. Well, actually it's 16 to 21 years. Is that right?
Yeah, something like that.
16 years to 2040. How scary is that?
Think about that though. Like 55 to 58 feet. Like that's deep, bro. You
Yeah.
got to think how big some of these vessels are, bro. And you got to make sure you're dredging that area, or else these ships are going to get stuck one day. And you're not going to know what to do. So you always got to be ahead of it.
The mystery of New Jersey waterways.
It's so cool.
What's
bro.
hidden down there?
You ever look at a map of like the transport lines and stuff of like all these ships and stuff? There's like a million different it's like looking at like a driving map, but it's like where all the ships go. It's crazy how many ships come in and out every single day and how many different like directions there are. I forgot what the map is called, but it's like there's like a million different lines and shows
like a shipping lane map.
Like a shipping lane map, yeah, pretty much. But the amount of ships that come in every single day, it's so crazy.
It's amazing it works.
Yes.
There's just miracles happening all around us, and we're so ungrateful. Like there's shipping containers coming from China. You ever see the videos of the containers that fall in the ocean, though?
Yeah.
Whatever happened? Like, how do they know? I guess like every container is documented.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So they know like exactly which one.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a chip on it or something.
And then they put that song behind it. Yo. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
And it's just a container floating off into the sea full of like Yeti coolers. And you're like, no. Someone on like an Aboriginal island is about to inherit like 600 Yeti coolers.
Yeah, man. No, 100%. Yeah,
like-
on those remote islands where they have no contact with human life, they're like, what's this?
10,000 fanny packs floating to shore. Like, what is going on here? But yeah, it's crazy. I mean, this is good. I mean, I can't say anything positive or negative because I am totally ignorant on the cost of repairing shipping lanes and dredging out harbors. But I imagine this is all the Army Corps of Engineers probably knows what they're doing.
I trust them. You need your TikTok shop items to get delivered to your house in time. So you need this project to go down.
I will say the water pick thing was a dig at myself.
Oh yeah, true. You bought a water pick.
The only thing I ever bought on TikTok shop was a water. They convinced me it was $6.
You're ridiculous.
And it works great. It
Does
works.
it?
It's amazing. Yeah.
Really?
What is a water pick?
They gave me 50% discounts, which should be 100%, but it was 50%.
He fell for it.
And then it went 50% lower. And the same one on Amazon was like $40. I was
Wait,
like,
what's
okay.
a water pick again?
It's just a thing that shoots water into your teeth. It's like water flossing.
It's like a pressure washer for your
my
mouth.
Yeah, it's like your power washing
You
your
use that
teeth.
every day?
Yeah, pretty frequently, dude. And it's amazing. You never used it before?
No, I just use like my regular floss.
How often do you floss?
I try like every day by miss days.
Really?
Yeah, because last time I went for a cleaning, they really like chewed me up.
Okay, you have a retainer, right?
No, I got rid of it. I had the permanent retainer for 20 years, but I was sick of it. So now I have one I put in every night.
I don't want to gross you out, but let's just say it works. You start using a water pick. It's
Like, does it shoot through your teeth?
yeah.
So it's like the dentist office when they shoot that water?
Yeah.
Exactly.
At home though. You do it every day.
You don't have to go to the dentist to get that clean feeling.
Side note about dentists, I tried, because I leave in a few weeks, I tried to get a cleaning appointment this week. I called, and she's like, yeah, the next cleaning appointment is October 7th.
That's everything right now.
Yeah.
I was like, what? After 6 months?
Why is no one talking about this? I called my family doctor for just a general, I want to get blood work done, get a checkup. I called in April. They're like, yeah, we have June 15th available. I'm like, June?
Oh, that's like 2 weeks.
I called in April.
Oh, you called it.
It might have been end of March even. It was like 2.5 months later. I was like,
did you book it?
I booked it just because I was like, if I can't, I'm going to go look for something else, but I'll just
Yeah,
leave
just
it.
that's why I booked my dentist appointment for October 21st.
But that's crazy. Come on.
It's sad.
How is that? What if I had a serious issue? I guess I go to the ER at that point.
I complained to my mom. She's like, yeah, they're trying to hire another hygienist. So like, they're probably just low on hands, but I love my dentist, man. I don't want to be going around a different dentist. I can't do, it's like going to a different barber. It just doesn't work that way. I can't just go to another dentist. They know my teeth. They know my molds. So like, I don't want to like change over. So now I got to wait.
Your dentist name is Crentist?
Crentist.
They have this new quick sealing bond.
Yeah.
He's chewing the M&Ms.
Josh, I switched dentists. I'm going to your dentist now.
Garden State Dental.
I don't know. Is that the one on Valley Road?
No way. That's the name?
No, the one on Valley Road I went to like 10 years ago, Jim. I go to a place called Garden State Dental. Shout out to Garden State Dental. But yeah, of course it's called Garden State Dental. It's on Raritan.
Do they know about the podcast?
I don't know. Maybe I should do it to maybe get a discount or something.
Wait, is there a reason why you left the one on Valley Road?
Oh, you didn't hear, huh?
Because I have an appointment there
No,
in
I'm
a
just
few
kidding.
weeks.
I don't know. My mom changed it like 10 years ago and I just went wherever my parents went.
Okay.
And now I just like them. So
My dentists
dentists are just so nice to me. They know my name. I think it's important when your dentist knows your name. And you walk in, they're like, hi, Josh, how's it going?
Yeah.
And they like start talking to you about like what you guys talked about last time. You're like, wow, you remember.
Yeah,
That's
they
huge.
they take notes. It drives me nuts.
But I don't care. Take the notes because you have so many clients. I would take notes too. But I think it's very important that you have a good relationship with your dentist, your barber.
My dentist brings up stuff
Your
I forgot
dry
about. And it
cleaning
creeps me
lady,
out.
your dry cleaning lady, huge, bro. You gotta have a good relationship with a dry cleaning lady.
My dentist will be like, so whatever happened with your trip to Costco? I'm like, what are you what? You said you were going to go to Costco. I was like, that was
remembered.
lady. That was 6 months ago. I don't know. I got
Isn't that
groceries.
awesome? Isn't that awesome? It really is special.
No, it creeps me out because it feels inauthentic.
Nah,
It feels disingenuous.
I think it feels very authentic, and I feel very special when they ask me about those questions.
Let's keep it moving here onto our next story. So activists are protesting the expansion of the New Jersey Turnpike.
People don't want that extension happening.
This is up in the Jersey City area? Yeah?
Like Newark, Jersey City area,
Okay.
14, exit 14.
So I know we had talked about the expansion right next to the Holland Tunnel a while ago, where they were talking about possibly, wasn't eminent domain a part of this conversation?
It was.
And that was
Yes.
part of why the protests started to begin with?
But now people are saying they're not going to have to touch any homes. They want to make that very clear to the people protesting. They're not touching homes.
So let's do a catch up for everybody that maybe didn't listen to that episode. If you've ever driven to New York City via the Turnpike, once you get close to the Holland Tunnel, obviously a high traffic area, maybe one of the most high trafficked areas in our nation.
Yep.
Where the state has determined they need to actually expand the lanes on the Turnpike so that more people can travel through.
Yeah.
Now, is this going to fix anything? No, it's just going to make the traffic wider instead of longer. That's my theory.
Do you think the Turnpike Authority might be listening to your idea here? Because they said they're not going to have to eminent domain. Are they doing the double-decker system?
I did recommend that. I did recommend that to Murphy. I've recommended it to many, many people. But nobody listens, Jim. I think the double-decker parkway is the future. What's the alternative? Oh, you know what the alternative could be? I just thought of this.
Here's another one of those ideas. Okay, go.
Tunnels.
I was about to say, instead of going up, we go down.
Secret tunnels. No,
But seriously, this is articles about near exit 14A, near that bridge in Newark too.
Yeah.
Yep.
So not necessarily right next to the Holland Tunnel. Just to make it clear.
No, this is 14 in Newark and 14A in Bayonne. The group Empower New Jersey organized a protest against the proposed expansion of the New Jersey Turnpike near the Newark Bay Bridge on Tuesday outside of the public presentation about the project by the New Jersey Turnpike Authority. It is bad economically to spend $11 billion on a project you don't need. Then there's the opportunity cost, because if we invest in public transportation, that will not only improve the lives of the people commuting, but that's what builds economic growth, attorney John Reichman with Empower NJ told Pix 11. However, the New Jersey Turnpike Authority said the 67-year-old Newark Bay Bridge needs to be rebuilt and cannot continue to be repaired. Phase 1 of the project would replace the bridge with 2 new spans and replace 16 other bridges that make up the 4-mile highway between exit 14 in Newark and exit 14A in Bayonne. Some residents at Tuesday night's meeting expressed concern about losing their homes due to the expansion of the turnpike from 2 lanes to 4 lanes in each direction. Lisa Navarro, the supervising engineer with the New Jersey Turnpike Authority, said no homes will be taken, but did tell Pix 11 News the expansion will be largely within our right of way as much as we can. So that's kind of...
What does that mean?
Right of way?
She said within the right of way as much as we can. So she went from saying nothing's going to be impacted to as much as we can. Maybe some small takings along a property line, but no residential displacement. So
yeah, we're going to take your backyard, but your house will stay there. You'll just have a
is that what that means, though? So
I'm not sure.
Maybe some small takings along a property line, but no residential displacements. So maybe like a yard, Josh?
I mean, like I could just imagine like a backyard with like a highway above you.
You see that happening all the time when they do like road expansions in front yards, right? Like you used to have a big front yard and now there's another lane.
Yeah, exactly.
That
$11 billion is a lot of money. But at the same time, like they have to rebuild the bridge regardless. It's just a matter of fact of how much are they actually widening this to, you know.
So I saw in Boston a meme the other day that showed Boston before and after they went underground with their bridges.
Oh, yeah.
Boston used to have these skyways going all around the city, and now if you've driven in Boston, you guys know.
Yeah.
You go underground a lot of the city.
Yeah.
And the city's so much prettier because of it.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if that is a part of the future for New Jersey. Do we begin building underground? Because I saw another thing about Elon Musk, and obviously Las Vegas and LA are very different, but he's doing the boring company where they just bore underground. And it makes sense.
Tunnels are the future.
It makes sense because you think how much prettier would the world be without all these major highways? I mean, that turnpike, that part of the turnpike that's up, you keep going a little bit further and you go towards the tunnel and it's 100 feet in the air?
Yeah.
You know, imagine if there was no bridge there, if it was just underground and you had like
how tough do you think that is to just like, you know, take that whole section of that turnpike and just like make a tunnel underground?
I'm sure it's impossible, but in the future, you know, could we figure it out? Because who knows? I mean, what would interfere with it? Probably just the sewage and stuff. But that's
all mapped out. You know, you can go around it. It's not all just
or
sewage
go
lines
deeper.
or electric lines.
I don't know how that works. I don't know, but I could see that being the future because again, with the parkway at least, I think the parkway would be a great candidate for because what's really next to the parkway? The parkway was just built, you know, through the land. I'm sure there's sewage to drain the water and everything, but
I wonder what the cost of that would be though.
Underground in Newark and Bayonne sounds a lot more complicated than, you know, exit 93 on the parkway.
Yeah, parkway sounds obviously way easier than doing a whole turnpike.
Yeah. Imagine if there was a turnpike, a parkway express lane underground that went down to like
express.
like straight to exit. Like what's a popular exit near, like what's Red Bank?
109.
So like imagine if you get on the express to 109 and it's just underground. You're going straight to 109. There's nothing else. I mean, it'd be pretty cool.
Well, it's kind of like right now. It's like what 123 to 105. That's the express lane, correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
So just do that tunnel wise.
I know we're
Then
getting
you have
off
117.
Oh yeah, with a 117 exit.
So,
but yeah, nonetheless, it's a lot of money. Do you like the idea that they brought up saying instead of rebuilding this, use the 11 billion for public transit?
yeah, I mean, of course I love it. I think the issue is we just put Band-Aids on everything.
Yeah. Well, like that's the thing. She said we have to rebuild the bridge. We can't keep putting Band-Aids on it. We can't keep fixing it because it's falling apart.
No, and I agree we need new bridges, but we put bandages on. I mean, a new bridge is the Band-Aid is my point. Mm-hmm. A new bridge is, let's put a new bridge in just so we can keep transit moving how it currently moves and not envision a better future where things make more sense. We need a new bridge. I'm not going to deny that. But the critique where they're like, what if we put 11 billion into public transit? Would that do anything? I don't know that it would, because I don't know that
there'll still be power outages every single day.
I don't know that. The more I learn about NJ Transit, I don't know that they're the best stewards of the money they've been given. I don't exactly think that they're the agency that's going to figure out public transit. At this point, I'm skeptical. But could $11 billion in grants to private organizations that are going to figure out transit work? Yeah, I'm more of a capitalist there, honestly, where I would love to see what other options are out there.
I love my bus lanes, brother. Take the bus from Union County to New York City, bus lanes all day. Yeah. So nice. So yeah, let's work on some of that kind of stuff.
Underground bus lanes.
Ooh.
Hey, the Boring Company, question about that.
Yeah.
Do the Teslas go into like autopilot when they're in there?
I think so.
Yeah, there's like
that
a button
is
you
so
press
cool.
or whatever, yeah. So you just let the Tesla drive itself.
I'm open to autopilot in autopilot lanes. Like if there was an underground lane that's autopilot only, I'm open to that. I don't want autopilot on the parkway.
I agree with that.
I think if it's like a commitment, hey guys, this separate option here is only for people that are going to go in autopilot mode, hop in the express lane. I mean, if it worked, people would be all in on it. But
yeah.
I definitely don't want people underground driving themselves, because we'd have a fender bender back up underground, which is scary.
It would get so messy, dude.
So
all it takes is one idiot to just mess it all up.
I can't wait for the underground parkway. Forget double decker. Forget my first idea.
I think that's in another lifetime, Josh. That's a long time from now.
All right. So last story of the day. This is a controversial one, but I think it needs to be discussed. And this is regarding electric bicycles.
It's going to grind a lot of gears, this story.
Yeah. So under a new bill, electric bicycles in New Jersey may soon need to be registered and insured. So electric bicycle riders in New Jersey could soon have to get their bikes registered and insured. The plan is getting backlash from cyclists. A bill proposed this year would require low-speed electric bicycles and scooters to be registered and insured. There are safety concerns about them, but critics say added regulations could push more vehicles onto already congested roads. Legislation comes as the popularity of e-bikes is soaring. Cycling advocates held a rally in Jersey City Wednesday slamming the proposal, which they say would impact immigrants the most since they use e-bikes to make a living. Antonio Solis, a delivery worker and founding member of Los Deliveristas Unidos.
You gringo. Read it, get it right, Josh.
Spanish-speaking news here.
Spanish language news here.
Antonio Solis, a delivery worker and the founding member of Los Deliveristas Unidos. Los Deliveristas Unidos said it would make the difficult job even more complicated and increase the operating costs. Advocates said more e-bike regulations would make undocumented immigrants more susceptible to scrutiny from police because they're going to be asking for your information. So it's very concerning for us. What do you think about this, Josh Chomik?
I mean, so you see the e-bike craze. It's getting more and more popular every single day. And yeah, more and more people are riding the e-bikes everywhere. So I guess the reason they should be insured, it's getting more dangerous, right? Like there's more people getting into accidents, people hurting themselves.
Well,
right?
I think a differentiation needs to be made here. If you're if you're at the beach and you're on an e-bike, I think it's a little different than if you're in Jersey City delivering food on an e-bike, because what happens in the cities is people get into accidents. I mean, it's natural. People get into accidents. Right?
It's way more dangerous in a city.
And part of the agreement of being on the road is you have to have insurance. But if you're on an e-bike that's not registered or insured and you hit somebody, what's the consequence? Like, how is there any resolution to the vehicle driver. I mean, you could call your insurance company and say, hey, somebody hit me, but then you got to pay out your copay and all this stuff. And it becomes a disaster.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, like, to me, it seems like if you want to operate on the road, people are talking about delivery drivers. Well, delivery drivers are a part of the economy then. Like, you're transporting around on roads that are designed for people that are driving vehicles.
Like, isn't it a good thing to be insured in case you do get wrecked?
Yeah, but the point they're making is if you're not here legally, you got to go through the
It sounds
documentation
basically
process.
like they're trying to just like protect the illegal immigrants who are using e-bikes, according to the story.
That's kind of what the main argument sounds like that they're making.
Putting that aside, putting aside the illegal immigrant side of things, just in general, insuring an electric bike.
Yeah, I mean, like, I heard a person in New York make this argument. If you're in New York City and you're on an e-bike and you smash into somebody's car at a red light, what happens? I mean,
Right?
like, you're not registered or insured. I mean, the police can't even come look up the the bike you're on. Now, I'm the first person to say I don't want the state involved in anything. You know, I'll be the first to say, like, I don't see a need for it. But I will say, if you're going to be using the roads and getting into accidents, something's got to be done for professional means. You know, if it's
Or would you say like if you're using an e-bike for business as compared to leisure? Like, maybe that should be insured,
I guess it depends on. I mean,
like a delivery driver.
Well, like, but even people commuting to work on an e-bike in a major city, if you get, the point is, if you get in an accident, something has to, because the victim of the crime is the driver of the other vehicle. So what happens to that person? You know, I don't know. It's interesting. I think at the same time, if you're a 12-year-old kid down at LBI riding an e-bike to the beach, I'm not really concerned. That seems like a way less likely situation where an accident's gonna happen. But if these commuters are becoming very common on the road for delivery driving and just for commuting to work in the city, you'd see people in the city that would take these little foldable e-bikes
All over the place,
and then they
now.
unfold them
Yeah.
and they go to work on it. I don't know. It's kind of complicated. What do you think?
I don't ride an e-bike. If I rode an e-bike, would I be annoyed by this? I guess so. I guess I would try to push it off as long as I could. But in the long run, yes, it's probably better off if I do get it insured.
Yeah.
For the protection of myself.
If other drivers on the road weren't required to have registration and insurance, I wouldn't care about this. I would say they don't need to do it.
But
Because
other
that's the
vehicle does.
contract we've accepted as commuters is I'm driving on the road. I have to register my car and insure it. If you're riding a bicycle in a bike lane, I get it. But if you're these people are riding bikes that can go 40 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So it's like that becomes basically
that's
a
the
mini
thing.
a mini motorcycle at that
It
point.
pretty much is a mini motorcycle, and that's where I see like, okay, maybe we should have insurance.
I don't think electric bicycle is a good term for an e-bike.
It should be called like a motorized.
It's a motorized
Something.
it's a motorized vehicle.
It's really an OPDMD.
What's that?
Hold on. Other motor OPD. It is.
You know that those initials, but you can't tell me what it means.
Oh, it's other power driven mobility device.
Other powered mobility driven device. So you think it should be insured?
Oh yeah, it's an OPDMD.
OPMDMD. It's pretty interesting. A lot of people are not in favor for it, but I wonder if it's actually going to happen or not. But yeah, if you drive a motorized OPMDMD, DDD, you might have to insure it soon enough.
I'm in favor of e-bikes, though. I think it's a great solution for commuters in local areas to
Also,
get
the
around
scooters.
quickly.
I see so many people on the train with scooters.
Yeah, I think the scooter fad is dying, though. I saw someone talk about what's the big scooter company that was in New York?
Bird, not Bird.
Yeah. Bird Scooters. They're bankrupt.
Really?
What happened?
No way.
Bird Scooters.
What about Lime?
Oh yeah,
Oh, no.
Lime.
Oh, wait, maybe it was Lime. Hold
Yeah,
on.
Lime is bigger, I think.
Bird Scooters.
Oh, I thought Bird was bigger than Lime.
I thought they're both the same.
So, Bird Global. Let me see if I could.
Bird.
Bird Global. That's hilarious.
Yeah. So in December of 2023, Bird Scooters filed for bankruptcy, and then the other one is Lime Scooters. Let's see if they're bankrupt yet.
Because people probably started buying their own. And these companies are going out of business.
Because people throw them in the Hudson River.
Yeah.
Like,
people do not treat them
it's-
with respect at all.
It's not a good business model for New Jersey. Lime Scooters, Bird Scooters, this is not a tri-state area business model. People around here do not respect other people's property. That's why e-bikes need to be insured. People don't care about your property, dude. You're in Hoboken. If there's drunk kids on Friday nights, they're gonna throw your scooter in the river and laugh with their friends.
Yeah.
And then what happens? They're not held accountable. The scooter's in the river. If you want to do this in Raleigh, North Carolina, sure. I'm sure it'll work great down there. But in Jersey, it ain't
It's an
happening.
interesting take. Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah, I think so.
You think people in Newark are really concerned about valuing birds? Like, oh, this is birds' property.
Do any cities currently, like what downtown areas in Jersey actually have the birds and limes at the moment? Because I know like Elizabeth had them, then they were like banned, and then like there were cities who had them, then they got banned because people were dying. Who actually has them? I don't even know. I don't see these anywhere anymore.
So in Newark, I've seen them frequently.
Newark has them right now?
Yeah, Newark has e-bike and scooter rental program. It's called, let me see, VO Micromobility. That's the brand. I mean, it's a funny business idea. I think it's funny how they come in vans and pick them up.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
funniest part.
Like that's
To
probably,
go charge them up and all that. It's kind of creepy.
They like collect them. But yeah, I mean, I guess we're gonna have to just wait and see what happens and see if they make them insure them. This has been an
If
ongoing
you are an
conversation.
e-bike rider, call in to the mailbag. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know how fired up you are about this and what you think.
People are going to be
should
fired
done.
up.
I do think e-bikes are really cool, and I'd like to get one. I think they've gotten so much better than they were even 5 years ago. Man, you
Oh,
get them
yeah.
for cheap now.
Yeah, what can you get? What can you get a decent e-bike for right now? In the
I don't know
marketplace?
if these are decent brands, but it looks like $1,500 you can get a really good one.
Okay, makes sense.
That sounds right.
Here's one for $650 on Amazon that looks really cool.
That's tough.
I want one of those.
Jimmy, this is like blacked out. It looks so fire.
It looks so fire, Pookie. Have you seen those videos?
I don't know what that means.
Pookie, you're looking so fire right now. Is that what he says?
That's kind of cringe.
I've never seen that.
There's this guy. You guys didn't see this?
No,
This guy went
I
viral
know.
with his wife, and he calls her Pookie. And in every video, he's like, "Pookie, you're looking so fire right now."
That's awesome. No, I didn't see it.
That's gonna be Chomik when he
Literally.
finds the love of his life.
Pookie.
Yeah,
Pookie did.
but
Pookie.
now it's not even related to the video anymore. People just say it randomly.
just like a
It's
saying.
like internet lingo. Yeah. All right. Let's close out the podcast. Thank you, everybody, for listening to this week's episode of The Garden State. We will be back next Friday. Josh Chomik, our little Josh Chomik, is flying from the coop.
Not yet. Well, I'm here next week. So
Oh, okay.
You can't get rid of me that quick. All right.
I wish.
dang.
We'll talk next week about that, Pookie. But until then, I'm gonna have a great week. It's gonna be. I hope everyone has a great weekend.
Too accurate. You definitely watch these videos.
No, I think just Pookie's a funny word.
Hold on. Before we end. Hold on.
You have to show me what you're
Before
referring.
we end.
You guys never sent me this one.
I mean, it's not something that I willingly watch. It just like shows up.
You guys have interesting FYPs.
What? It comes from the guy who has all the weird.
And quintessential movie star Pookie is looking absolutely ravishing tonight. Dave, you really
You ever see this guy? I can't find the clip of him saying Pookie is looking so fire right now. But they just film these videos of themselves. So everybody makes videos now about Pookie.
That's so funny. Internet trends are funny.
Oh, yeah, man.
So funny. Funny.
I feel like a boomer. But that's it, guys. We'll see you next Friday.
Thanks for listening to the pod.
Later.
Bye.
You're listening to The Garden State. The Dirty Jers.